My flat is being renovated, and ever since I've lived in a shipping container. It's quite alright, except for the fact that I can't put something into the wall. Otherwise it would look like something like this, and that's not really handy for the winter. So now my router hangs on this tape and its cable around this thingy here. It never really bothered me anymore, until one night I find it like this. I think he's telling me something, so I had to solve it because this wasn't working anymore. Well, let's go to my desk and get started. My idea is quite simple. I want to make two U-shaped holders and fix them to the wall. Something like this. For that, I will need the dimensions. I need to know the distance between the two holders. I want to know the width. And I want to know the length, or maybe better said the height. And I want to know the thickness of the router, which turns out to be quite hard, since the router is curved and has this edge, so measuring along this line is quite hard to do by hand. So, using some paper and estimates of dimensions, I'll iterate through different designs and look what fits the router best. I bought a camera stand already, okay? For the first iteration, I used a simple design. Wider at the top with 4 cm and smaller at the bottom with 3.5 cm. I also added a corner to get an idea how the router would fit into the holder, and to make it pretty I added a small fillet. After cutting out the first iteration, I end up with this. When I fit it onto the router, you can easily see there's a gap in the right corner and there's a lot of room on the left side. Probably because I didn't follow the curve of the router yet with my design. After a few iterations I end up with this. It's smaller at the top and at the bottom. Also the corner is a little bit bigger and I have added the curve. When fitting the new design onto the router, you can easily see that the corner fits more neatly and that the curve is offset a few millimeters to ensure some space. Now the design is finished, I want to put it in SolidWorks. And you might be wondering, why do you want to put it in SolidWorks? You can just draw it on a piece of wood and saw it out. Well, that's because I'm gonna 3D print it. Your next question then is probably, but why do you want to 3D print it? Well, the easy answer is, I don't have any other material available to me now. You remember me moving out? Well, I left all the wood I have behind and maybe half of my tools. Additionally, I want to tape the holders to the wall using double-sided tape, and tape doesn't really stick well to wood normally, and 3D printed plastic does. I don't know if you noticed it, but I found it really funny when I saw the cursor once the video was sped up. It looked as if I was really stressed when I was modeling, especially when I changed 1 or 2 dimensions, and it seemed as if the whole sketch was just falling apart. Once the 2D sketch was put into SolidWorks, I only had to extrude it and add some final adjustments. I wanted to add some fillets to round off the edges, making them easier to print, but also ensuring that it doesn't crack there, because most of the time there's a weak point at the corners. And it also looks pretty neat. Now everything is done, and the only thing I have to do is to send the STL file to my friend and wait. Once they were done, I picked them up and went home to check them out. You can't miss them because of their bright red color. And the print itself went really good, I think, since the finish of them is quite good, as you can see. The fit of the router is also pretty good. The holders secure the router firmly, and there's some room for wiggle as was intended. This means I can fix the holders to the wall. I will use the back side of the holder and put some double-sided tape on it. After I put the tape onto the holder, I wanted to make sure that the tape was secured tightly. After that, I was able to cut off the excess, such that I can put it on the wall. After watching this video up to now, You might be wondering, why are you making this video? Well, I've always liked making stuff, and I've had various projects for myself, which aren't even all finished by the way. But since it's getting busier, I find it harder to start and certainly finish these projects. To encourage myself to start and finish little projects like this, I'm making videos about them, since I also enjoy doing so. So there's your answer. Now both holders are done, I'm ready to install them onto the wall. First, I marked down where the router had to be placed, whereafter I only had to peel off the protective layer of the double-sided tape before sticking the holder onto the correct place of the wall. After placing the second holder as well, I was able to put the router onto the wall and connect its cables. Well, everything is done now, so here's the end result. Let me know what you think of it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully until next time. See ya!